Hello everybody. Today we're going to be doing a mixed media cave drawing. Um, in your art kit, well, hopefully you had a chance to look at the video and the Jamboard about cave art to get some ideas of the kinds of animal shapes, human shapes, and just symbols that you want to do in your picture. The first step is to sort of prep your page. And as you can see here in this one that I did before, I tore the edges to kind of give it a more rocky feel to it. And I used watercolor to sort of rough up the background to make it look more like maybe the wall of a cave. And we're going to stick with earthy tones today because the first artists, the cave drawing artists, they used natural pigments, things they could find in nature, charcoal and different rocks and things like that. So we're going to stick with a pretty neutral palette. I prepped this page. It's still a little wet, but I just took my watercolor kit, the brown paper that you have rolled up in your bag. And if you want to go ahead and tear it first, tear around the edges to make it look sort of rough, you can do that, or you can tear it after you've done your picture and just tear around your picture. Then I took my watercolors with a big brush and a little cup of water, and I just put some of the brown and the orange and the yellow pigments on the paper just to give kind of an interesting rocky background to it. So if you want to go ahead and do that and then let your page completely dry, then you can move on to the images. I think for my painting today, because I want to keep the video pretty short, I'm going to just do a few symbols on the page. You can go ahead and with pencil and outline, if you're going to do animals, outline your animals first, do it in pencil. And then I went over it with black oil pastel and a brown oil pastel. If you don't have oil pastels at home, crayons work great. You can also use colored pencils or just a regular pencil if that's all you have around. I think I put a black and white oil pastel in almost everyone's kit, so at least you have those to work with. So after your page is dry, which mine is almost dry, go ahead and work on some of those images. When I was looking through some images of cave paintings, I saw a lot of hands, and I don't know what these symbols meant to the people who were making them, but they're interesting nonetheless. So I'll do a few, and then you can shade them in if you want. Use a few different natural colors. This color to shade this one. You can certainly go ahead and blend different symbols, circles, arrows I saw, and then all kinds of different animals. So you can really go back and look at some of the cave paintings and find out what kind of animals were alive back when these paintings were being made in caves. So after you have a few symbols and you're happy with your painting the way it is, there's one more little trick that I have here to make this really mixed media. I took some of my white acrylic paint, just a dab of it, and I watered it down, probably equal amounts, maybe paint to water. And then you could do this with black too. I think I did this with black on this one. And I just kind of take my finger and my paintbrush and just sort of flick paint onto the page. Now be careful of your work surface, of course. Make sure it's protected and it's something you can clean up. And also your clothes, because remember, this acrylic paint doesn't come out of clothing very well. And then of course you can always go back, add more symbols, add more animals, add more color. add more paint splatters, and have fun. We'll see you next time.